All right, we're following dangerous and deadly weather across multiple states. More than 50 million people are under a risk for severe storms today from Texas to Minnesota. The danger zone includes parts of Oklahoma, a state that was hit by a tornado outbreak Saturday. Emergency officials say at least 3 people, including an infant, were killed. Governor Kevin Stitt has declared an emergency disaster following reports of injuries, heavy damage, and flooding. And right now, nearly 65,000 customers are without power across Texas and Oklahoma. This outbreak was the latest in a series of storms that first hit the Central Plains on Friday, causing widespread destruction across Nebraska and Iowa.
I think the Weather Service said there were over 80 events across the state. I know of some folks in Greeley County, and so there were cells that did damage everywhere across the state. And so if we keep everybody across the state in our prayers and just make sure we get through these next 24 hours being safe.
All right, here with me now for the latest is meteorologist Elisa Raffa. So, Elisa, I mean, where is the biggest threat for severe weather right now?
We're looking at storms exploding in Texas in a lot of the same areas that have storm reports from yesterday and the day before. Look at the last 48 hours, nearly 120 tornado reports, a lot of damage to sift through. And when you look at the risk for today, you can see it's a lot of the same areas, just a little bit farther to the east, including states like Missouri, Arkansas, and then the heart of it today could be in eastern Texas. But look at the warnings that we've had over the last 48 hours. It is incredible. On Friday, the Weather Service office in Omaha issued the most amount of tornado warnings that they have ever issued in a day at 42. And then yesterday, Norman, Oklahoma did that as well. 59 warnings just yesterday, the most that they have ever issued in a day. So incredibly busy. And we've had some flooding rain with this too. It hasn't just been the tornadoes. I mean, look at cars inundated in parts of Oklahoma. Flooding risk continues as we go through the day today. Flood watches span from Missouri down to the Gulf Coast there for parts of Louisiana and Texas. Storms are exploding again. As we start to refuel the atmosphere, you get that daytime heat and humidity, and the storms are exploding, particularly in eastern Texas. This is what we're watching right now. The Storm Prediction Center just put out an update saying that they're watching to see how the atmosphere could be refueling. This could be our next tornado watch spot, so we'll have to watch that closely. Here's the bullseye for today. You see that orange enhanced risk, parts of Shreveport going into eastern Texas. Again, multiple tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail all on the table.
Wow, a lot. All right, Elisa, thanks so much. All right, more in our developing weather story. After dangerous and deadly weekend tornadoes tearing across multiple states, more than 50 million people are still under a risk for severe storms from Texas to Minnesota. The danger zone includes parts of Oklahoma, a state battered by a tornado outbreak on Saturday. Governor Kevin Stitt spoke to reporters moments ago saying 4 people, including an infant, were killed. And earlier, he toured the damage in hard-hit Sulphur. Right now, more than 60,000 customers are without power across Texas and Oklahoma.
We've got early reports. They think this is an F4, just kind of blowing right through downtown here. And I just haven't seen this much destruction from my time as governor. I mean, you just can't believe the destruction. Like, it seems like every business in downtown has been destroyed now.
This outbreak was the latest in a series of storms that first hit the Central Plains on Friday, causing widespread destruction across Nebraska and Iowa. Here with me now for the latest, meteorologist Elisa Raffa. So, Elisa, many areas experienced so much destruction, and then there are threats of more?
Still more. It's been a crazy busy 48 hours. The storm reports are just multiple. We're looking at 118 reported tornadoes. That means sightings of tornadoes. A lot of damage to sift through to figure out how many tornadoes and what the strengths were. And then when you tack on the threat for today, you can see a lot of it is the same areas. It nudges a little bit farther east today, including more places in Missouri, Arkansas, and then eastern Texas and western Louisiana. But I mean, an incredibly busy 2 days. Look at all of the tornado warnings just in the last 48 hours. In Omaha on Friday, they had their busiest day at their Weather Service office with 42 warnings issued in a day. Yesterday, Norman, Oklahoma did just that too. Their busiest day with 59 warnings from that office yesterday. Just countless warnings that have really just saved some lives. We've got the storms that are really kind of almost stretching border to border. We do have some showers and thunderstorms over hard-hit Omaha. People there are trying to clean up, and now they're dealing with some lightning and some downpours. What we're watching for today is this area here in eastern Texas. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning there to the south of Dallas. This area could refuel. The atmosphere could regain its strength, refuel, and prompt that next severe risk. This could be our area that we're watching our next tornado watch for additional storms that can blow up and spin. Here's a look at that risk. It stretched from Des Moines down to Houston. That orange area there, that enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5, that's where that bullseye for additional tornadoes can be as we go into the afternoon and evening. So something that we'll have to watch closely again.
All right, we're counting on you, Elisa Raffa. Thank you so much. All right, more on our developing weather story. 4 people, including an infant, have died, and more than 50,000 customers are without power across Texas and Oklahoma after a tornado outbreak on Saturday. This outbreak was the latest in a series of storms that first hit the Central Plains on Friday, causing widespread destruction across Nebraska and Iowa. And we're just learning emergency officials in Iowa are reporting 1 fatality from the storms. And now a new tornado watch has been issued for parts of Texas. It's one of several states under risk for severe storms that includes more than 50 million people. Here with me now for the latest is CNN correspondent Rafael Romo and meteorologist Elisa Raffa. All right, so Rafael, to you first. What are officials saying?
Yes, Fred, in the last couple of hours, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt increased to 4 the number of storm-related deaths in his state, with one county alone reporting at least 4 injuries, but there could be many more. And officials had earlier said there's an infant among the dead. The governor said 2 people died in the city of Ada, located about 85 miles southeast of Oklahoma City. A 3rd person died in Marietta, Oklahoma, which is located on Interstate 35, about 115 miles south of Oklahoma City. The 4th person died in Sulphur, a city the governor visited earlier today to assess the damage. Earlier today, Governor Stitt had declared a state of emergency, or an emergency disaster rather, in an area that includes Marietta. Altogether, the governor's declaration includes 12 counties. The declaration states that severe storms, tornadoes, straight line winds, hail, and flooding affected different parts of Oklahoma. The damage in Sulphur, the governor said, was hard to watch.
We've got early reports. They think this is an F4, just kind of blowing right through downtown here. And I just haven't seen this much destruction from my time as governor. I mean, you just can't believe the destruction. Like, it seems like every business in downtown's been destroyed now.
The Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management said it has received reports of injuries, property damage, flooding, and downed power lines and trees across several counties. We're also getting new images of severe flooding in the city of Tonkawa, located about 90 miles north of Oklahoma City. And this all happened in the wake of yet another series of powerful storms that left a devastating trail of destruction in Nebraska. An Omaha resident described to CNN affiliate KETV what it was like to hear a tornado coming.
Just like the movie state, it was like just a freight train. The noise was so loud. I'm not too afraid to admit it. I was crying like a baby because it was just the scariest feeling in the world. It was helpless.
Elkhorn, Nebraska was one of the hardest hit areas in the state, and Fred, Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen said this weekend it is a miracle there were no deaths.
I mean, it's extraordinary, but you know, there's still more. I mean, this has been an incredible system because there's more coming.
Right.
Elisa Raffa is here with more about that.
Yeah, new tornado watches just issued since the last time I saw you. You've got the storm stretching up to Omaha, where they're still recovering from Friday's storms, and then the line of storm stretches south. This is where we have that new tornado watch. It's in eastern Texas. It's just outside of Austin, San Antonio, and Houston, kind of in that area right between. Right now, it does not include the city centers, but we are looking at storms just really blowing up. We've got multiple tornado warnings in effect right now, where we've got some storms that are spinning. The atmosphere in this area is refueling, is recharging, and it is allowing these storms to blow up once again. So here's the risk for today. It stretches from Des Moines down to Houston. You see that orange bullseye? That's that level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk. That's where we could find the threat for a couple of more tornadoes, the tennis ball size hail, and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Just incredible. Plus the heavy rain. You saw some of those pictures of cars inundated in Oklahoma. Flash flooding continues to be a threat in that same area. So storms blow up as we go through the day today. They could organize into a line that would bring you that damaging wind threat, and it continues to push east as we go into Monday. This coming after an incredibly active 48 hours, nearly 120 tornado reports, a lot of damage to go through to figure out how many tornadoes and what the damage looks like and how strong the tornadoes are. Like I said, there's that risk for today. A lot of the same areas under the gun, just a little bit farther to the east. And when you look at all the warnings that were issued in the last 48 hours, it is remarkable. In Omaha, that Weather Service office issued 42 warnings on Friday. That is the most that they have ever issued in a single day. Yesterday, Norman, Oklahoma did the same thing. 59 warnings. That was the most that they had ever issued for their office as well. And we've heard so much, especially from the people in Omaha, about how it's really saved countless lives. So if you see those warnings today where you're at in eastern Texas or really anywhere, just take them seriously, because we have seen it this weekend that they do save lives.
It's really important. This is a pretty aggressive season so far. All right, Elisa Raffa, thank you so much. And Rafael Romo, appreciate it.